Okay, so how can you create uh, a pivot table from these three worksheets? Okay, one drawback of pivot tables is that you can only create a pivot table from you can create a pivot table from only one worksheet. But here we have three data sets and three different worksheets. So how can you create a pivot table from these three worksheets? Okay, so the solution to that is that you need to use the power pivot. So here is the power pivot. Okay, and also the other drawback with using normal pivot tables is that with large data sets, uh, uh, you fail to create your pivot table if you have very large data sets, millions and millions of rows of data can fail to produce a proper pivot tables. Uh, you can always have issues with producing the pivot table. So as a solution, we use the power pivot, no matter how big your data is. So how do you do it? Okay. So first of all, let me start by formatting these data sets. Like for this column, I'll format this by going to custom, and then I want my data to remove the hour and the minutes. So I'll just select this one. Okay. All right. So I format this data like that. This data again, I format it like that so that I can clearly see the fields or the headers. Okay. Again here, I select all and then do like that. Right. So the first thing is, I have to first of all make sure that these three data sets have something in common. Okay. Let's say you have this sales data set. We have customer ID. Okay. And also, if you go to this customer's data set, you have what? Customer's ID. So you need to have a relation or something in common among the data sets. Again, if you look at the products, we have the product ID. We have the product ID, which is also here under sales. We have what? Product ID. So yes, we can go ahead to create the pivot tables using Power Pivot. Alternatively, we can use the VLOOKUP, but that one will take a lot of time. Okay, for some of you who are not familiar with VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP, so it will not be worth the time. So yes, it's an option. You can do that, but for now, let's do the using the Power Pivot. Right. So what do I do? First of all, you select your data set and then go to Power Pivot and then you go to what? Add to a model, and then it will ask you or prompt you to do what? Okay or cancel, to select okay or cancel. Yes, my table has headers, so I do what? Okay. So that's Power Pivot processing. Yes, we have table one, right? Table one. Uh, let's wait for okay, it has processed. Then I'll minimize and go again to customers. Under these customers, I'll select the range or the data range and then go to Power Pivot and then do again add to model. Yes, my table has headers. Okay. Right. Wait for it to process. Yes, we have table two. And then I'll minimize, and then I'll go to this products worksheet, and then I'll select it again, and then go to Power Pivot. Then I'll do what? Add to data model, and then my table has headers. Okay. Then from there, I'll wait. I'll wait for it to process. Okay, I think it has finished processing. All right, so we have these three tables, table 1, table 2, table 3. They're in Power Pivot. They're no more in what? In Excel. Right. So what do we do now? Remember I showed you about relationships. So we have customer ID in table 1, and in table 2 we have customer ID. And then in table 1 as well, we have product ID. In table 3 we have product ID. So those are the relationships we'll use to connect these three tables. Okay. So how do we connect? Okay. So for us to connect, we need to go to let's go to design. Then you go to what? Create relationship. Right. So table 1, how do I connect? I will connect to which other table can I connect it to? Okay. Table 1, I can connect table 1 to table 2. So here down there, I'll select table 2. Okay. How are these two connected? Okay. We have customer ID and we also have what? Customer ID. So that's relationship number 1. I'll just do what? Okay. Okay. I've created one what? One relationship. All right. That's great. Relationship number 1. Let me create another relationship. Relationship number 2. Let's see. Table 1 and table 3. Let's see what they give us. Okay. So table 1 and table 3, what is common between these two tables is their product ID. So if you select product ID and here again you select what? Product ID. You find that there is what? There's a relationship. And then you do what? You do okay. And let's see what it gives us. It's creating a relationship. Creating a relationship. Let's wait. All right. Yeah, I think for now, the relationships have been created. Let's go to manage relationships. Yes, you find that there is table 1 and table what? Table 2. There is a relationship. Yes. And also table 1 and table 3. There is a relationship. All right. So if you want, you can edit the relationships. You can delete or you can create another relationship. Okay. So let's close that. And then if you want to see the relationship further, if you want to see them visually, you can go to this icon here, down here. If you select that one, okay, it will visualize. It will visualize. Okay. So here, you find that there is product ID, and here also table 1, table 3 there's product ID, and table 1 there's what? There's product ID. So that's the relationship. That's how these two tables are related. Okay, and also table 1 and table 2, they are related through what? The customer ID. Right. So let's go to home. Now we can create what? We can create our pivot tables now. Right. So here we can go straight to using these connected tables or data sets. You can create a pivot table, a pivot chart, chart and a table. All these options are there. But for the sake of this lesson, let's select what? Pivot table. Okay. So I'll create on a new what? On a new worksheet. Okay. So here's my new worksheet. Let me just drag it there. Okay. Here's my new worksheet. So there's table 1, table 2, table 3. So what I can do is I can select a field from this table 1, another field from table B, and another field from table 3, and create what? One pivot table. So let's see. If I select um the drop down, not the drop down. If I collapse it, okay, or rather if I expand that one, what I can do is I can select, let's say I want to select product, uh, not product, sorry. If I want to say, okay, let's say, where's table two? Okay. If I'll say, okay, I need to find, sales by name, okay, by customer name, um, customer name, and then in table one, let me select, let's say, quantity, okay, quantity, and also in table three, let me select the, uh, let me select the category, okay, like that, okay. So you find that, um, we have these categories, and then we have the sales people here, or rather the customers. So that's how you can, and then you have the quantity. So that's how you can create a pivot table from multiple worksheets. Okay. I've taken, like customer name from the customers, uh, from this customers worksheet, and then, we've got these figures from, from the sales worksheet. And lastly, we got these electronics, these categories from what? From products. Okay. So I need their two categories, right? So that's how you create a pivot table. If you want, you can say, okay, let's say, let me clear this. Remove field. Also remove field. Let's create another pivot table. Remove field. Let's see, I will say, okay, let's say in this, uh okay, product name. Okay, let's say per product. We want sales per product in each region. Okay, total sales. So you go to table three, you select the product name, and then you go to table two, you select the region, like that. Okay, and then you go to table one, you select the what? The amount. Okay, the total amount. You put it under the values there. Okay. So, and if you want, um uh, you can format. So that's how you format. You go to, value field settings, and then you can format the numbers there, like that. Okay. So these are your figures. Right. So that's how you create pivot tables from multiple worksheets. Right. Or you can also create a pivot chart if you want. So that's how, that's how Power Pivot works. So here I stop here. In my um my session ends here, and I hope I'll be sharing, if there are more updates on the Power Pivot, like, I know they're already there, like, the how to calculate measures and all those. Thank you.